Here we are on page 17 of our booklet. We're starting with a circle here. I can see from the image that our radius is 28 meters. On number 1, we're asked to determine the radius and the diameter of the circle. So the radius, 28 meters, and I'm always going to use my labels of my units. Our diameter is going to be 2 times that, so 56 meters. Okay. Number 2, find the area of the circle given above, round to the nearest hundredth. Okay. Now, this is important for today. Whenever we're using a formula, we must write down that formula. This is going to be key for tomorrow's lesson. If we were in class, I would have been a real stickler about it, walking around the room, checking everyone's notes. So pretend like I'm looking over your shoulder. So let's write down, find the area. Area equals pi r squared. So we've got 2 variables here, area and radius. Which one do we know? We know the radius. It's 28. So I'm going to substitute in. Remember, we use parentheses when we substitute in. 28, and then the exponent goes on the outside. Following order of operations, PEMDAS, we're going to do exponents before we multiply. So I'm going to take my calculator. Doesn't matter which one you have. Either I'm going to do 28 times 28, or I can use my exponent button, and I see, oh, it's 784. So that means we have pi times 784. Now, we are rounding to the nearest hundredth, so we actually have to multiply by pi. So again, I take my calculator, 784 times pi. If you're using a Casio calculator, the pi is above the EXP in yellow, so I have to hit Shift and then the EXP button and push equals, and I get a big long number. If you are using one of the TI calculators, you can do 784 times, and you have a pi button right there. You don't have to push anything else. Push pi, push equals. But it gives us the answer in terms of pi, 784 pi. So you need to push this 2 triangle button here above enter, then we get our answer. And it's 2,463.00864. We are rounding to the nearest hundredth place. There's my hundredth. Look to the right. It's greater than 5. So our area is 2,463.01. And now we need our units, meters squared. Area is a square unit. Okay. Number 3, find the circumference of the given circle above. Leave answer in terms of pi. That's my favorite, leaving an answer in terms of pi. That means we're going to leave our answer with a pi symbol in it. We're not going to use our calculator and multiply by pi. That's the most exact answer we can get for circumference and area of circles because we're not rounding pi. Even in the calculator, it is a rounding of pi. Okay, so again, write down our formula. Circumference equals pi times diameter. 2 variables, 2 unknowns, circumference and diameter. We know 1, the diameter, that's what we're going to substitute in for. So circumference equals pi times 56. Again, we're leaving in terms of pi. I'm not going to touch my calculator. All I'm going to do is reorder my answer. So I'm writing 56 as a coefficient. We're treating pi as a variable because it is a letter. It's a Greek letter. And we have 56 pi. That's in terms of pi. So our final answer, 56 pi. And we're just going to put our units meters. Circumference is a linear unit, just like perimeter. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. This one gets a little more involved. What is the area of a sector of a circle whose central angle is 60 degrees if the diameter of the circle is 10 feet? Express your answer in terms of pi first and then round it to the nearest hundredth. So there's a little background we have to get in here. Central angle is 60 degrees. A central angle is just an inside angle of the circle, a sector of a circle. And there's a fact we should know here is that a full circle has 360 degrees. We're just focused on this sector of a circle, and it has 60 out of the full 360 degrees. So if we take that fraction and we reduce it, we're going to find that that's 1/6. So this sector of the circle is really just 1/6 of our full circle. And we're going to have to use that when we go to find the area. We also want to notice that they give us that the diameter of the circle is 10 feet. And I want to jot that down for myself. And I know if the diameter is 10 feet, the radius is 5 feet. And that'll be important for finding our area because we use radius in our area formula. So find the area of the sector. I know our area of a full circle is pi r squared. Our sector is just 1/6 of that. So what I can do is I can take our area formula and say, okay, I'm just going to take 1/6 of the area of the circle, or we could say it's going to be pi r squared divided by 6. Both do the same thing, okay? For today, I think I'm going to use the pi r squared divided by 6, okay? So let's substitute in there, okay? Two variables, area and radius. We know the radius, it's 5 feet, so that's what I'm going to substitute in. 5 squared and divide by 6. Order of operations, we are going to do that exponent first. And we should have as quick recall that 25 squared is 25. And I'm going to rewrite that as a coefficient. So we've got 25 pi over 6. Okay. And leaving answer in terms of pi first, well, I look at 25 over 6. I can't reduce that, so that's good. Let me just put my units there. Feet squared. There's our answer in terms of pi. Boom, done. Love in terms of pi. Now, to get our answer rounded to the nearest hundredth, we have to use the calculator, okay? So if I'm doing that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 25 divided by 6, okay? And when I do 25 divided by 6, I get a decimal, 4.166666667, which means 4.16 repeating, and I'm going to jot that down a couple of decimal places out and then put my pi. Okay, and I can even leave that in my calculator for the moment and then just push times pi, and we get our answer, and I'm going to write down a bunch of decimal points there, 3.08996938. And our directions were round to the nearest hundredth. Area equals 13.09 feet squared. Okay. Turn to page 18 with me so we can take a look at our classwork. Okay, so the top part of page 18 is really working with our relationships between radius and diameter, circumference and area. For the circumference, you're going to leave your answer in terms of pi. For area, leave your answer in terms of pi first and then round to the nearest hundredth. So really, you should have two answers boxed there. If you need more room for this part, this table, feel free to use a separate piece of paper. As you get to numbers 2 and 3, here's where we're talking about, sort of like our previous problem, we're talking about parts of a circle. So we want to notice the shaded area here, right? That's just 1/4 of the circle. This shaded area here is just 1/3 of the circle. When you're talking about perimeter of the sector, not only is it going to be that part of the circumference, third of the circumference, but you're also going to have to include these two radii here as a part of its perimeter. Make sure you are posting your classwork on the Padlet. If you need help, check Google Classroom for the videos, especially that one I posted last night about logging into the Padlet. Hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to end today with a math joke for our mathy folks. And that question, that joke was, how do you make the number 7 even? You take away the S. Have a great day, guys.